Hello and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright, Attorney Trials and Tribulations. In the last episode, we continue our investigations, this time playing as Phoenix, and today we will be doing the same thing, continuing our investigations. I'm assuming this is going to be the last investigation section before we go to trial, so let's make the best of it, I suppose. Right, is this what Godot was talking about? Yeah, the trigger locks. Now then, Iris, please remove these at once. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid— Bullshit, you can't! It's not possible for me— Bullshit! You put them on you— Dahlia, you put those locks on the door. Yes, if only I was stronger. Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face, like you're one to talk with your face all green. Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous, I'm perfectly fine. There's no telling what sort of mistakes you could make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth. Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. Oh, good God. Edgeworth. He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in the corner of the garden. Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. That said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. Anyway, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. I'm going to stay here and see if I can't help solve these bothersome puzzles. I see. Well, thanks for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris? No, not at all. Oh, this'll be fun. Okay, escape. Why did you make a run for it, Iris? I'm sorry. I heard the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried I just had to come and see. In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we're clear on that. I don't believe you. I can tell you how relieved it was when I saw the sacred cavern was alright, but what? Then I saw the chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the sacred cavern's door and— Who in the world would have done something like that? You. Literally you. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who can set the lock can open it. And you aren't the one who set these locks. I don't think it's that simple, Francis. Come on, Karma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now somehow there's 5 of them. What does that mean? It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got it. It was you! Because, okay, so the implication here is that she put the first one on, sure, but she didn't put the other one on. Then why didn't she open the first damn lock? Yeah, she could only open one of the locks. So why didn't you open one of the 5 locks? Iris, try to think, please. Is there any other way around this? Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them, but it will take time, won't it? Yes, about a day if I had to guess. A whole day? Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure, I'll do whatever I can. We gotta wait another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on your inner strength now. You can open one of them right now. You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get. And what might that be, Phoenix Wright? I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at the Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident, but you were seen that same evening at the Inner Temple. And then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime at Hazakura Temple, too. Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the Inner Temple. It's as if you were— Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. Oh, for God's sake, you and your freaking Cyclops. Yeah, at least there's only 3 this time. You know what? At least there's only 3 this time. I knew it. There's something going on here we don't know about. Okay, well, that's enough for now. Where do we want to go? Garden's up to Edgeworth, so I won't go there. We can stop by visit Larry. Maybe Larry knows something. If I get to the bottom of this case, I can count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to get more clues. Yeah, you can count on you can count on Dahlia to break them because she put them there. It's just Heavenly Hall. Also, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm getting mad at the game, because like the voice I'm using now is like the voice I used in the Turnabout Big Top case. I was furious with that case because that was such grade A bullshit that I lost all control basically, and I just was screaming madly at it because it was so unfair. And it sounds like I'm doing the same thing here, but I'm just getting pissed because Maya's life is in danger, and I have no patience for incompetence or liars, or in some cases both. So perhaps I will be a little short-tempered at times with these characters, but let's go pay a visit to Larry. February 9th, Heavenly Hall. Oh, Mr. Nick! Pearls, what are you doing here? Nothing. What about Misty Maya? Is she alright? Well, we don't know yet. Oh, I see. Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry, this is a loser shack. Loser shack. This is the what? Hey, we've uncovered each other's failures, okay? You would make sense, because you're a failure at everything except painting, apparently. Which, by the way, Larry, credit where it's due, for as awful as he is at everything else, he finally found something he's good at. So I can't blame him for that. But why are you in the loser's shack?
Look, Mr. Nick, Mr. Loris did a
His name is Larry, Pearls. That's, great, Pearls. We're going to gather firewood now. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. You're gonna gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song. Listen to me, Pearl, you don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? I'll let you...
What? Oh, Mr. Maya?
Okay, what's going on here? Lori's a sketch. Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? Hey, I got nothing to say to you, pal. My life's here now with Pearl. Two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore. What am I going to do with him? Alright then, what do you think about this picture, Pearls?
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing.
See, someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know?
It's supposed to be Sister of Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy.
No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew. I'm telling you, Iris really flew that night.
But, Mr. Loris...
Not you too. Please don't look at me like that, Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm stuck on a nutcase. I beg of you. I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. Okay, so I was half asleep when I was here that night. Yup, he was upside down. He was upside down when he drew it. Guarantee you that's the theory I proposed in the trial. Guarantee you that's exactly what happened. And looks like I don't have any choice but to take the sketch at face value. Okay, and then the night of the crime. Pearls?
Yes, Mr. Nick?
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you, and what exactly were you doing when it all happened?
I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know? I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing, does it, Mr. Nick?
Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Mr. Nim's room reading a book together, but Mr. Nim was murdered and you, Pearls, with the inner temple. Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls?
I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick.
No, she doesn't have... She has psyche-locks.
I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished.
What are you talking about, Pearls?
My spiritual power, it's disappeared.
What? Her powers have disappeared? How does that work? Lost powers. What do you mean your powers disappeared, Pearls?
It's all over for me. A spirit medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint.
You mean Larry? Hey, what are you looking at me for? Pearls, did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hazakura Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps? Way to go, Nick! You made her cry! That was really cruel of you! Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break these psyche-locks to get the truth out of her. Okay, so she tried to channel somebody and she couldn't. Interesting. Well, I'm not gonna get anything out of you now, so I guess we can go back to the main hall and see if there's anything noteworthy over here. I wonder if Sister Bikini's back at the main hall. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. But Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. Well, Gumshoe has the thing going on with Maggie, so, yeah. February 9th, Hazakura Temple, main hall. Well,
what's the damage? How is a sacred cavern?
Looks like it survived, but we have a bigger problem now. I told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the sacred cavern.
But who could have done that? The only people who know how to set these trick locks are those of the Korean tradition.
We have Iris at the sacred cavern trying her best to open them for us right now. Actually, something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini.
Oh, yes, we were in the middle of a chat, weren't we?
Yes. You were telling me how the Master of Korean disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Faye suddenly appeared at this temple.
It was about a week ago, when Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman to prove she was the Master, she said, "Someone is trying to destroy the Korean tradition's main family line. I'm here to put a stop to that."
I feel so bad that I gave Maya's mother's voice to that. Sorry, that I gave Maya's mother that voice. Someone was trying to destroy the main family line?
There is only one heir to the title of Master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. That child becomes the new Master of Korean, and her daughter is the main family. All of the members have become branch families members with no hope of controlling this clan. That's why nothing has changed about the history of the clan. Branch families have always will plot to erase us the main family line.
Is the power of the Master worth this much bloodshed? Do you not remember the reunion and Turnabout case? Oh no! Oh, I just remembered! Remember at the end of that case, when there was a post-credit scene, where Morgan was like, "Your opportunity will come one day, Pearl. It will come one day. This is that opportunity. Pearl said she was a bad girl. She was involved. She was involved in this, on Morgan's orders. I don't know how, but she was involved on Morgan's orders. Wow.
You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is real.
Yes, I do, because I've seen it happen. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya, and that time I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the Master Mask case, and during Maggie Bird's trial, too. And also many other times when, before this game. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most. Sometimes a little bit too conveniently.
The Korean technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know? I mean, the ability to commune with the dead, that's true psychic power, you know? Members of the tradition have always been there, behind every important leader. But who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill?
I suppose so, but with all that power and influence, I kind of expect you to be really rich right now.
Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? You're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore, you see, all because of one little mistake.
Would that mistake happen to be the DL6 incident? Would that mistake happen to be the DL6 incident? Is she talking about, I think she is talking about what she thinks she is. Yep, the DL6 incident. I knew it. The DL6 incident. I know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago.
Ah, that's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case.
A murder that took place 17 years ago. It was
the first time in the country's history the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer.
And the medium who performed the channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother.
Through Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action.
But that man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he?
That's right, he was. And the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case. It was all over the media, the public, the judiciary, the people of Korean Village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Misty's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud.
But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all.
Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The Korean tradition is starting to recover at last. But the new master wielding the power of the clan...
Does she mean Maya? Not if Morgan's... I guarantee you, this is the payoff for that little post-credit scene in Justice for All. When Morgan was telling Pearl that our opportunity will come. Guarantee you they're behind all of this. Family feud. And they roped Dahlia into it as well.
The spiritual power of the Korean channeling technique is in the blood.
Maya's told me the exact same thing before.
We, the women of the Fae clan, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through us.
According to Maya, only the woman in the family can inherit that power.
The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Amy, but with each generation, only one daughter becomes the new master.
And the ones who don't become branch families, right?
That's right, and it's always the cause of the tragedy.
You know, Maya had a sister too. An older sister named Mia.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What? You know about Mia?
Of course, she's become a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother.
And lost her life as a result.
Do you know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition.
Really?
Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, as she grew up. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mom and her aunt.
That's actually kind of sweet. That's right. Misty and Faye had an elder sister too. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the Master's seed from her.
Mystic Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Oh, yeah, I know. Trust me, we had a whole case about this. Morgan? Yes, that's a name I know well. Yep. It was a year ago now at Maya's home, Korean Village. What she did was terrible. It was all so she could make her own daughter the next master. And the same thing is happening again.
I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris...
Huh? What's Iris got to do with any of this?
Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter.
What? What? Iris is what? Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter. What? I'm gonna need some more on that one there, buddy. Did you just say that Iris is Dahlia is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Oops, I thought you already knew. Sounded like you'd met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have. I know her very well.
Oh?
Yes, Pearl Faye. But I always thought she was an only child.
You jest. That child, she's Mystic Morgan's. I had no idea. Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes. Ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. It was all done to set Pearls up as the next master. And I guarantee you the same thing's happening again.
I see. So I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
Wait. 3 daughters? You know, last time I checked, 1 plus 1 equals 2, not 3. Pearl and Dahlia slash Iris. No! Oh no! They're twins! She has a twin! She has a twin! Right? 3 daughters? That explains everything. Oh my god! That explains everything! It explains how she was able to be seen in two places at the same time. It explains how this Iris is suddenly, like, so eager to make up for her mistakes. So, okay. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense!
Yes, Iris, your twin sister and Mystic Pearl.
What? The twin sister?
Oh, didn't you know it all happened 20 years ago? After the clan leadership was taken from her by your sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Corain's reputation hit an all-time low, when Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master. He left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with them.
How awful.
He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give...
That
was Iris, you see.
It's unbelievable. If Iris isn't a twin sister, could it be? Do you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris' sister?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler.
Well, that's a clue, I guess. I'm a jeweler. Thank you very much. You helped clear up a lot of details. Pearl's 2 oldest sisters, huh?
Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger toward the main family.
Anger? What do you mean?
Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband, but even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan.
That's why she had pearls?
It seems that the incident was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. It was able to break free of the bars that confine her.
So Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens. But this information will be useful so I can flesh it out a bit. You don't need to... You already know it's Dahlia. You already know. And that makes so much sense. It also explains why Iris can't open... I think Iris is telling the truth. She can't open the other 4 locks because Dahlia made the other 4 locks there. Holy hell. This is like Eeny and Meeny Miny all over again. And it's so smart. Okay, let's go here and see if we can find it. Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming? No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. Sing it with me. No motive, no crime. I remember when we used to search in the a letter or something. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though. A letter?
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. I wonder who it's from.
How's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe?
I don't know if I should be telling you, pal, but I guess it can hurt, or can't hurt. I was the murder took place in the Inner Temple Garden.
You know, we gathered that much, and
They're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty serious back at HQ.
What, you mean?
I don't have the details, pal. All I know is if you don't find Maya down in that sacred cavern, we're gonna be faced with one ugly situation.
What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here?
You got me, I don't know. They're not my words, pal.
And who said it?
Mr. Godot.
Godot? What did he mean by that? About that letter you found.
Don't mind me, pal. I'm bouncing the gun train here trying to find the murder weapon. And all I find is some burnt up old letter.
Burnt up old letter?
Yeah, it was in that incinerator right outside the Inner Temple.
The incinerator? I knew it. I knew I wasn't imagining it. Okay, so can we read it? It looks like there's still some words legible. So can we please read it? Yeah, I get it. We remember the incinerator. Let me read.
What's up with you, pal? I got it right here if you want to take a look.
Can I? Do you mind?
Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and massive stuff, but it's got no relation to the case.
Spirit mediums? Found my gums from the Inner Temple Center. Okay. It's gotta be important to mention spirit. I gotta give you a look over into the serious thought.
If you're checking the trash when you're done, literally a crime, pal.
Okay. Go to the court record. Where's burnt letter? Okay. Be careful. One night falls. Should be there. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit, leave everything up to her. Her name is, she's his picture of her, use it when you channel her, I know you can do it. Once this is burn the letter, I'm gonna say, make sure not to tell anyone about this letter, I'm guessing. Gravely roast the master. I knew it! I knew it! This is what she was reading! This is what Pearl was reading! I knew it! I knew I remembered hearing something about that! Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. I knew it! And Pearl can't read that well, so she thought gravely roast means gravy roast. So she desecrated the poster of Maya's mother in the gravy. And, wait, as soon as you hear that, you must channel her spirit. Pearl channeled Dahlia. Pearl channeled Dahlia. That's why they couldn't find her, because she channeled Dahlia, and Dahlia killed Mystic Misty. I knew it. I knew I remembered her saying something like that. Alright, it's all coming together now. It's all coming together now. Okay, murder weapon. So, what do you know about the real murder weapon so far?
Well, it wasn't the shit you just found available in the victim's body. Mr. Hudgens proved that in court today.
Yes, that's true.
In which case, it must have been another blade.
And that's when you're running around like a headless chicken looking for now, huh?
Yeah, man, it is a tiring work. Let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We got the feather of forensics in our camp these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this.
Secret weapon? Secret weapon. What's the secret weapon of yours?
You want to know? You gotta think scientifically, okay?
Alright, the murder
weapon was a sword. Swords are, scientifically speaking, made of metal, right? Any questions so far?
No. I know what he's gonna say, but I'll let him look smart.
So what's the perfect tool for the job? Ta-da!
A metal detector. Ah, another callback to the first game. When we used the metal detector to seal Manfred von Karma's fate. So many callbacks. Rajan, you didn't see this coming from a mile away.
Well, you want to give scientific investigation a go?
Huh? Me?
I've been using this thing for hours now. It gets pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try?
I don't know. Should I help detect Gumshoe out? Of course we're gonna help Gumshoe out.
Come on, pal. It's good fun, I'm telling you.
Alright then. I guess I'll give it a go.
Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget, the absolute best. It doesn't have you can make it cry. It's so high-tech you can skydive off it.
Oh, bother.
So now I'm gonna tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapons around here somewhere, right?
Sure, that's what we're trying to find out.
Right, so first let's turn the detector on. That's the sound of the metal detector signal bouncing off of something metallic. Next, move the detector around. Don't worry, this baby will let you know when you hit something metallic. And when that happens, press the A button to give the area a good hard stare. This thing picks up. Oh, take a look at anything and everything that seems suspicious, okay, pal?
Okay. Well, I somehow don't think the metal ladder was used. We know this wasn't used. This is radiating. Just a pair of skis, something used for our case here.
I'm pretty good on skis, you know, pal. I just love to fly down slopes with my coat fluttering in the wind.
Really? I had no idea. How good are you then?
Well, I'm better on skis than I am on skates. But not as good as when I'm on a snowboard.
That's a pretty detailed answer.
Oh, but you know what I'm best at? Making mashed potatoes and gravy.
The guy's losing it. Must be the altitude. Better get back to the investigation. Okay, so it wasn't this. And I'm guessing if it wasn't those skis, it's not these skis either. I don't think it's this. Nothing major there. Something here. So there's something round buried in the ground here.
Don't touch that, pal!
Huh? What is it?
It's a trap. People set them out to catch those detectives. They're real nasty.
A trap? For detectives? You mean like those fierce traps with sharp legs, sharp teeth that are supposed to snag your leg?
Yeah, those. I got my finger caught in one of those.
How'd you pull that one off? I'm not sure I know how to respond to this story. It's stupidly pitiful as that. Okay, well that wasn't anything. Nothing here. Actually, nothing here. So what else is there? Is this? But this is Mr. Nim's staff, isn't it?
Scientifically speaking, they're usually made out of wood.
But the detective is reacting to it.
Yeah, but however you look at it, the thing's made of wood, alright? I don't bother investigating anything unless it looks like it might be metal.
Yeah, but the thing's going off. Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it?
It's weird this thing is causing a racket.
Here, let me take a look at it.
Hey, hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the...
Ah! The top is coming off.
Look what you've done! You've damaged a really important piece of evidence.
Ah!
That's a
sword.
Inside the staff.
Is this? Could it be?
The murder weapon?
I'd never have guessed there'd be a sword concealed in the victim's staff.
They call that kind of thing a sword cane, pal. This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed her own foot.
I officially give up and try to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. Oh, don't worry about it. I gave up on that a long time ago. Now, why was a sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Hey, Gumshoe, who knows about the hidden sword?
No one, even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now.
Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. Doesn't seem like there's any traces of blood on it.
I guess this is the murder weapon, huh?
No. I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder.
Yeah, of course. This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal.
It's about the same length as the Shichisto, too. This must be the murder weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to the forensics. There's gotta be some traces of blood left, even if most of it has been wiped off. See you later, pal.
Okay, Gumshoe can go do his thing.
Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight.
Wait up, detective.
Huh? What is it, pal? I'm a pretty busy guy right now, you know?
You're going to get this stuff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding it off just for a while?
Huh? What are you talking about, pal?
Please, just until we find Maya.
Maya? What's it got to do with her?
I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Oh? How so?
Look, Maya's trapped inside the sacred cavern right now, and, well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel.
You don't think?
Please, detective, let's just wait until we can get inside the sacred cavern.
You're looking kind of viridian there. Okay. So stop with that face, pal. One thing, though. The staff secret trick. Let's keep it between you and me, alright? If it gets out that we didn't know about it and didn't say anything, we're finished.
I understand.
This is just a regular, run-of-the-mill staff, you got it? Okay, now you take good care of it, pal.
Thank you, detective.
Don't worry. She'll be fine.
Gumshoe.
You know, there's a place at the base of this mountain that has some really good pasta. I'm gonna take you there when you find Maya, huh, pal?
Sure. Thanks. Can't help but wonder, though. What was Lee Nim doing with a staff like this in the first place? Well, I guess we're gonna find out soon enough, okay. Well, we've been everywhere except the garden, so can we go check up on Edgeworth's investigation, see how that's going? He'll probably tell us to go away, but it's worth a shot anyway, because we've been everywhere else. So let's go to the garden. February 9th, Inner Temple Garden. The cops are still combing the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's gotta be a tough job. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time.
Mother, how could I have done that?
Wow, I can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth, ah! And he's gone. Hey, don't you dare run away.
What do you want, Wright?
What do I want?
If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away.
I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. You went back to the criminal affairs department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris.
Yes, and thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible.
You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh?
There's a high chance this is the actual scene of the crime, that's why.
You mean because of the writing in blood and the talisman in the snow?
Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted out here after the murder.
But surely you don't suspect Maya, do you?
We have to treat everyone as a suspect. Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right?
Yeah, so I guess but why would Maya kill her own mother? Granted, she didn't know it was her mother, but still, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes.
No, though thankfully my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I might find myself short of breath.
17 years ago, when we were still school kids at the same elementary school, Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. So many callbacks.
Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. My dreams, my family, and myself.
It's been more than 17 years now. And that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right?
You think I don't know that? I was there, but it was such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake. And not after you saved me.
Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think, so no more of the self-pity, okay?
There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I'd seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before.
So you went back to the criminal affairs department to look for her file?
Yes, I checked over every case file I've ever worked on. And I was right. I had seen her face before, 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
It was my first appearance in court, and as cases go, it was my worst nightmare.
So, who is she?
I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public.
Okay, well, what if I told you that I already knew, that I already know who it is?
No, that was completely unrelated to the murder.
Well, what if I told you that she definitely is? Explain the connection to Iris in the... Yeah, well, here you go. Can we present Dahlia Hawthorne's profile? I'm assuming this is Dahlia Hawthorne. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know that Iris had a twin sister?
What? A twin? You can't be serious.
Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files that I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father. A jeweler, I think. A jeweler? Right, I just might know who this twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right? Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth, please. It was my first court case 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case? You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh, and this is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. But I don't think it was her. Well, I mean, yes, Dahlia tried to kill her. But remember in the very first case of the game, when Phoenix said something like, that wasn't my Dahlia, you know? It wasn't anything like her, and I called him crazy? I don't think he was crazy. I think that the Iris he fell in love with, or the Dahlia he fell in love with, wasn't Dahlia at all. It was Iris, pretending to be Dahlia. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead. What? Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. Well, what do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey. Hahaha.
Mia Fey! Mia Fey!
At the time, Dahlia, it's like she was possessed by a demon or something. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month. Executed? I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. But do you understand now? She can't possibly connect with this case. Yes. She's dead, and once someone is dead, there's no way to revive them. Well, Godot's living prove us to otherwise. But I'm not thinking more of reviving. I'm thinking more of Pearl channeled her. There's no way to revive the dead? I wonder. It seems like you're not aware of one other connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? It's about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's the mother got anything to do with this? She's Morgan Fey, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Corain channeling technique. Did you say Corain channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh, yes. I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of a channeling school. But you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Edgeworth, go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file and you'll know. Of course. How could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then you'll see that the Corain channeling technique is real. Okay. Well, do we have Dahlia Hawthorne's profile? Yes, we do. Now that we have that, I say we go try to crack Iris's psyche-locks. I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in your room in Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be true?
Yes, that's where I was.
Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too, but I can't, because this person saw you somewhere else the night of the murder. Bikini saw her somewhere else. I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course.
Sister Bikini?
Her testimony in court today was very clear.
That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently, so I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple.
Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder.
That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. The acolyte's actual training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late.
What time was that?
Let me see. It's about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple. So I would have left about 9:40 p.m.
Wait, weren't you supposed to ring the bells at 10 o'clock p.m.? Hold it. Where's your testimony? I know your testimony's in here somewhere. Here it is. Yeah, you rang the bells at 10 p.m. That's just a straight up lie. I'm sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you.
Huh?
Now you say you left the main hall at 9:40 p.m., but what you say doesn't add up with this. You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said that you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night.
Ah.
Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have.
Who's that?
Me.
Mr. Wright?
We even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten.
No, that's right, I remember.
And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in two different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove two things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the inner temple. And second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility, which is that there were two of you. On the night of the incident, you were seen in two different places at the same time, which means there must have been two of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris.
But that's crazy! How could that be? There's only one of me, it's impossible!
Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise.
You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Then show me the evidence.
Well, something that proves there's more than one of me. Can't I just show you your sister? I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps?
Ah!
That's right, Dahlia Hawthorne, a woman I know only too well.
I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer...
Yes, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Thank you.
There's nothing to explain now, is there, Iris? This second you who was here at the temple on the night of the murder. It was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne.
But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that?
Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground of the Karain channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me. And I guarantee you I knew who channeled a spirit. And she's next up on our agenda of psyche-locks to crack.
I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew it was my sister, Dahlia, the other half of me, who passed away last month.
Just as I suspected. The Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder? It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before?
Because my sister always does the right thing.
Excuse me?
And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before, I can't do it again.
You betrayed her? What do you mean?
That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way.
What is she talking about?
You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago? That was the start of it all. It's what started her down that twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her.
How did you betray her, Iris?
It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing.
What?
But I got scared, so I ran away.
What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father, that's awful.
But I promised that I'd help, and she didn't do it for the money.
Huh?
It was revenge on our father.
Revenge? What do you mean by revenge?
He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and sent her to hell.
Her mother? She must be talking about Morgan Fay. Our mother
was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fay family. That main family had a lot of influence in many business and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was said to inherit all that as the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. But his plan backfired, because our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over as the master of Kurain.
That would be Misty Fay, Maya's mother.
But before long, the credibility of the Kurain tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Misty Fay, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick dive, and he had no reason to stay there.
And that's when you came here to Hazakura Temple?
Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his new family, you see.
Oh.
I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master's seat stolen from her, being rejected by her own family, I've heard she's been very battered spiritually and emotionally.
I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together.
I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fay clan.
That's what it looks like. Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister Dahlia Hawthorne poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide all the evidence. That college student. Have you heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts.
I see. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There's still much to investigate.
Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise.
Thank you. Supposed to be continuing my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. Pearl's psyche-lock. Okay. Let's go. Let's go crack her psyche-lock. If I can get there. Suspension bridge, and she's still with Larry in the loser's shack, right? Nope, wrong. I just went in a big circle. Here. February 9th, Heavenly Hall. Look at that. They really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh! Mr. Nick!
Oh, you're too late, Nick. If you came in for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off. I do not care. I think I pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearl's hiding. Alright, present the Magatama. Oh boy. The night of the crime, this is gonna be tough. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Nim's room writing a book, Terry, correct?
Yes! I was so happy when she invited me, but I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, I suppose I had to go instead. I was so worried I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Mr. Nim's room because she was too worried about something or something. She was too worried about Maya, so she went to the inner temple. On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? You went to... here. You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? The next question is, what were you so worried about? Now I'm going to take a guess and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
You mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is Maya Fey. It's obvious why you were so worried about Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it?
Ah!
You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course.
I signed up for your special course.
Well, my, quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel. Woohoo!
Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could have happened to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the inner temple.
Then we're clear that now that you went to the inner temple the night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the inner temple?
It's probably around 9:50 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started. But there was so much snow I didn't get there till 10 o'clock.
Until after 10? How did you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
You heard the lights out bell? Hazakura Temple's bell pretty small, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up the sound of the bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
You was trying to hear the bell? Tell me, Pearls. Why were you so worried about hearing that bell?
Huh? Oh,
I think I know why. The reason you're so worried about the bell was because the burnt letter said something about after the bell, right? wait, wrong direction. It would be this direction. Oh, wrong letter, okay. Yeah, as soon as you hear the lights out bell. Yep, that's why. You were given instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper?
Ah! Where did you?
In the incinerator of the inner temple. Pearls. You were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? No.
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt, but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? No overthinking things. It's pretty obvious the person supposed to channel the person you were trying to channel tonight, Pearls, was Dahlia Hawthorne. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter.
Ah!
It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister became mad at the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
No. I never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. So here's my next question. Who wrote the set of instructions for you to follow? It was Morgan Fay. Pearls, I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why.
How did you?
I figured it out. The person who wrote this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay.
Where?
Alright, Pearls, it's time you started telling me the truth.
Mr. Nick,
Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this.
Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child.
Huh?
If you're trying to say I followed these instructions, I'd like to see some proof.
What?
Because I don't think you have any.
Oh, but I do. I do, though. Evidence, then. One more thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder, but you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it.
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
Huh? How do you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
A simple mistake? What do you mean by that?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you'd been given, but you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence, wrong direction, that proves it! You mistook gravely for gravy. It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging skull, wasn't it?
Ah! What? Why would I do something like that?
Do you remember what was written in that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. But you didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast among others, right?
How do you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Mr. Nim on the night of the murder? Yup, I was right.
Perhaps we can read some books together.
Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading.
Well then, would you like to practice reading with me?
Miss Elise, so for example, how do you read this?
It says gravely. That's kind of a tough word.
I remembered correctly. Sure, Mr. Nim taught you how to read gravely and roast, but what she didn't teach you is what they meant. Gravely...
Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food.
And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from the night's pot roast.
To be honest, I didn't think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
I really am useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, I couldn't even do it right.
That was tough. Unlock successful. Haha.
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple with a pot full of the leftover gravy.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it was the master of Korean like it said in the letter.
I see, and then?
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the show.
Snow.
So I went to the inner temple guest area.
The guest area?
Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why didn't you just go to the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started, and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then,
Pearls, did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it.
Hey, don't worry about it. Shut up, Larry. No, there's a time when you interject yourself, and there's a time when you don't. This is definitely a don't. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped in the inner temple.
Yes, when I woke up it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore, and there's no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter in the incinerator, and I heated up the leftover gravy
And left off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried. It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep in school, too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry. And lost powers.
It was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No, I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. Shut up, Larry. Larry, you just need to get a permanent piece of duct tape you're gonna slam on your mouth whenever you start saying something stupid. You never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone?
Yes, I don't know what to do.
Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Could you please tell me what it is anyway?
It could happen if someone else is already channeling the same spirit.
Someone else? What do you mean?
Well, there's only one living spirit, right?
Yeah, it's like dating. Oh, shut up, Larry! And that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearl's could. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne, but why? Who and why?
I'm a failure. I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish?
Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said, so make sure you follow the instructions carefully.
This letter. You definitely need to find out more about it.
My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearls.
I visit her every month, and last month she told me.
The time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I had a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae Clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now listen carefully and I'll tell you what the letter's hidden.
Directly in front of the same guy who stands there at the door every single time.
My mother is always nice to me. I love her very much.
Yeah, Mom's will do anything for the kids. Yeah, except... Yeah, but okay, she's literally conspiring in murder plots. Larry...
She said it was for the good of the Fae Clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Misty Maya is part of the Fae Clan, so I had to be good for her, too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
I guess so, yeah.
There's a picture with her letter, too.
A picture?
I Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture's enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time...
Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about the stuff. Can you just go into the shack, shut the door, and never come out, please?
Something else that was strange about Mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before.
I'm not even gonna bother to read this dialogue. Someone had already opened it? Burnt letter, updated the record. Okay. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Misty Maya will be right.
That's... Pearl, I don't think you understand how much of a demon your mother is. Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Godot.
Finally figured it out, have you, Trite? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is.
Godot.
The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. I guess he's
I guess talking about Iris and the log-breaking effort.
but it's all a waste of time.
Why do you say that?
Because my affair isn't coming back.
What? You know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that?
It was your job to protect her, Trite. Just like it was your job to protect me, a Fae. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances.
I realize that, but...
And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them.
But I didn't know anything about what was going on.
Ha! What did I just say, Trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow, we'll settle everything in court tomorrow, once and for all.
Mr. Nick? Is what that man just said true?
It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick.
My dear Pearl, you've done so well, my child, my Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now, finally, after all this time, the Master's seat is yours. My last great wish. It seems I was just in time.
This case is too much. This case is too much. Okay, That's it for this episode, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. We'll catch you all on Tuesday for some more Phoenix Wright, Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Goodbye!